Jared
The
Leto
reason-
actually played different take on Joker,
man.
which I liked. I know you probably. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it was a different take.
Man.
It was a different take. I liked it. I'm not comparing him to like Heath Ledger's Joker or anything. I'm not comparing him to past Jokers.
Like, look at the little PS4 controller.
Innit?
That's so cool, man. But when you come to the Dreamcast and the the one before the Saturn, that's what wasted so much Sega's money.
Oh, did you just? Well, yeah. All right. It wasted the money. But Dreamcast was such a good console.
Look how beautiful! Like, look at all the floor and the way it reflects.
Yeah.
It
The
does
game
look
looks
clunky. That's
really-
the first thing I thought.
What was
It
that,
looked a bit
clunker?
Yeah.
Dunno.
Welcome, guys. This is week 8 of the We Are Era podcast. We're with Gilcade and Prime Example, Jordan and Nathan.
Yo.
How are you two doing?
Yo.
How are you two doing since last week? Even though we talked like most days.
Last night.
I think I lost about 2 stone from just sweating, but I'm all good.
Oh, I
Oh,
lost
mate,
about.
it's been terrible.
It's hot,
The heat,
mate. I am
unbearable.
hot.
Yeah. So just before we get started on this, we last week's podcast went very well, didn't it?
Yes, it did go.
Yeah,
very
yeah.
well.
But unfortunately,
Yeah.
we middle of the week we didn't have an upload. This was because I fucked up. I
It's alright.
didn't realize Twitch wouldn't automatically save the video
They should.
on a new
They should, to be fair.
on a new channel. So yeah, we had a bit of a mess up
To be
there.
fair, Sam, they used to.
What's that?
They used to save videos even if you weren't affiliated. So you there's no error there, man. It's just-
Alright.
They just changed stuff. It used to
Alright,
be like that.
I don't feel too bad
Trapped
about
you.
it.
Put you in a trap.
It's a trap.
So yeah, there was no YouTube upload on that last week's, which is unfortunate because it went really well. Alex Clark won the giveaway.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well done, man.
But yeah, we'll get started anyway with our news. So first of all, we have Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. So it's quite a big anticipated game for next gen, innit? It looks
Yes.
like it's Crash Bandicoot, man. It's going to be a sick game.
Mhm.
But a few things that they've recently announced, they are going to let it so you can be Coco the whole way through the game. Instead of having specific levels, Coco is becoming an actual
The main character.
main character now, not like a little side character,
Oh,
which is
okay,
cool.
okay.
I know there's a lot of people who would rather play as Coco. Me personally, Crash is the OG, so I'll
What's
play it.
the difference in the two?
there's nothing. It's
Do
just
they
it's
have-
just something
do
they've
they have,
had.
There
like,
never
different
used to be a
jumps?
difference. I think the gist was that back in then that Coco was more friendly with the animals, wasn't she? So she normally did all
Yeah.
the animal levels with Coco.
Yeah.
Well, I
well,
feel like
she's an animal
they should
lover.
play on that a little bit then and make her have slightly,
Oh,
maybe she
mate.
jumps a little higher like in Mario and Luigi. Like Luigi jumps higher,
like Luigi
but
jumped
Mario's
higher,
that little bit,
I was just saying then, did you see that nice little side dodge that
Yeah.
he's got there? Oof, that was nice, that little side step.
Do you feel like, I don't feel like they've added, from the remakes, I feel like they're just using exactly the same stuff. It's just new content, isn't it?
Yeah, it
don't
looks.
see
the
It
graphical
looks like it's
difference
going to be
that
very
much.
similar. I've got some. Apparently, they're incorporating more diversity with the gameplay. So they've got Cortex, Neo Cortex as an actual character. So in parts of the story, you'll be able to play as Cortex, which
Oh, stop it.
a bit further on in this video, he
like
can use like his gun to transform him. Oh, and if you can see here, you can.
Yeah.
There's actually in-game
Oh yeah, the
costumes.
look at all the
Yes,
suits.
you see
And
that?
and
Thank
they've,
you.
they've said that there's no pay gate, there's no loot
Thank
boxes.
you.
It's all in game, so you have to do challenges or whatever to unlock all these
Oh,
costumes,
I'm definitely buying this.
which is going
Oh,
to be
mate,
sick.
the costumes has done it
Coco
for me, man.
costumes then.
it's I'm gonna get it because I love Crash.
I hope it stays hard. I hope they haven't made it any easier. If you know what I mean, for to get just a
Yeah,
wider
well,
audience.
that's a point. I reckon. I hope they keep true to the difficulty because Crash is not to get through it, but to 100% it. It's
Yeah,
in my opinion one of the hardest
it's up there.
side scrollers platformers to 100%. Like Spyro was, I think it was fairly easy to 100% compared to Crash.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
Spyro,
yeah,
definitely,
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. You're right.
But if you'd want to nudge this video on a bit, Nathan, and just
Yeah,
get
of course.
to maybe a bit further on, just a point here that they've got new game modes. Apparently they're gonna try make it so a bit further on, maybe where the cog is. back. Yeah. So here they've made it so there's different game modes. So here they're showing like it's like a negative mode, and you have to kind of like everything's in a. You can't see the full animation. The animations are different.
The fruit's different.
Yeah, I think the things move either faster or slower in this mode.
The paint mode.
That was
The paint mode.
The paint mode.
This is like
I'm guessing.
cinema. Go on, Jordan.
I'm guessing they'll use these kind of things to. I guess most of this stuff here is for what you'll probably unlock your costumes for.
Yeah, innit? Like getting a certain amount of like fruit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Look, even there they had like look at this frog. Look at them Frogger references. Like it's still to this day they're making the same stuff as it was. Like, and it's I like the fact that they're still using what was around in the 80s.
Yeah, of course.
I think look at that total too. I think I like this by the looks of this is just because it's like feels like old school Crash.
Yeah.
It feels like they've not overthought it and gone, actually, we need to do something different and let's make some next level wacky game rather than just gone, actually, we've got a good thing here. Let's just change it up, give you some different stuff to do. So look, that looks amazing.
Yes. Oh yeah, and also just one more character. We just got a little snippet of it in that video. Dingodile is actually going to be a playable character, which was Crash Bandicoot 2's second boss. Oh no.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot 3's second boss.
Boss.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. The last Crash they brought out was good, even though it was a remaster.
It's going to make a ton of money.
Of course it is.
Oh yeah. To be fair, go on. What you're saying? No, it's cool. What you're saying.
Anything that Activision holds at the moment, it's going to make masses of money. Because not only the Activision have, the money to put out there to every single person in the world in terms of advertisement, like they can literally make the game worldwide.
Yeah.
And they've been around since day dot, It's going to do well.
100%.
It's going to do really well.
Yeah, so that's just a little bit about Crash. And we've got here a new game that is going to be coming out for the PS5. It's called The Pathless. It's quite an unusual game. To me, it reminds me of a game called Fury for the PS4, just because of the cell shading textures. But the game is going to be an open world adventure game.
This looks beautiful.
The developers are called Giant Squid Games. To me, they sound quite familiar, but to be honest, they've only made a game called Abzu, which was like an underwater exploration game.
Amazing game. I've completed it 3 times. I would advise everyone to buy Abzu. It is the most, seriously, Sam, I can't even explain. Like, it's the most cinematic experience I've ever had in my life. Like, put some nice headphones on.
Yeah.
Get that game. Seriously, it's cheap.
So
you see what
go on, Jordan.
Do you know what like they've done here? They've taken a class. So, when you play these games, you've got sword bearers, you've got archers. They've taken like an archer and made it a game and done something completely different.
Yeah.
Like, look at how that flows, man.
Yeah, like one of the when I was watching someone have reviewed it, they said they wanted to make the focus mainly on just the movement of the game. So there's less of the actual like aiming and shooting. It's more
Yeah,
like
you having to like
locking
stop
on.
and aim and
Yeah,
shoot.
it's like a
yeah.
lock on. I don't know. Personally, I don't know what like do these like things that she's shooting.
It seems to
Is
be
it a
that every
part
time
of
she-
like the story? Is he like mean to
Feels
them?
like
Or-
I mean, obviously we can't have sound for obvious reasons, but it might have some sort of do with like a music rhythm. Not, it won't be a music
Yeah.
rhythm game, but there'll
Yeah,
be
yeah.
maybe a music aspect there, which you can, it just helps
Yeah.
you along through the game, and it's
So
a fun experience.
it kind of could be like it is a waypoint. You know what I mean? So it's like a waypoint, but it goes to the beat of the well,
It reminds me of Ashen. Have you played Ashen?
Ashen.
I don't know. It's really weird. Yeah, I feel like every time
It's a
she
really hard game.
every time she shot one of them, then she just moved towards it. Ashen,
Yeah.
it's like it's basically Dark Souls, isn't it? It's like this
But like
this
sort
style of game, but Dark Souls.
Oh yeah, and also it's going to be like
Yeah.
a puzzle game, as you can see.
I don't know if I'm unsure on puzzles because they can get really boring and
Yeah,
really
they're
tedious really quick.
repetitive. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I think they get really tedious. I think they definitely
Yeah.
get tedious.
yeah. I know. Even though I loved Zelda game for Switch, Breath of the Wild.
Hmm.
I love that game, but the puzzles
Damn.
were very repetitive. Trust me, mate. I can't even
Yeah,
believe I
yeah.
forgot the name of that game because it's actually one of the best Switch games.
It literally is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's something new. I ain't seen it out like it before. If you just want to nudge it on a bit, Nathan, to the
Yeah, of
I
course.
think there's like a boss fight. Yeah, there.
Yeah. Do you want to?
Yeah, anyway, yeah.
Oh right.
So
This reminds me of Breath of the Wild a lot.
yeah. Again, I don't think there's any aiming aspect in the bosses. So when she's fighting the boss, she kind of locks onto like a certain part. Maybe a bit further on.
I don't think she fights it. Or maybe she. Oh, here we go,
she does a bit further on. Yeah. Like it looks like an epic like fight. Like
I see that. You see that. What I
Oh,
said. They
man.
see where she hit the target. Then the
Yeah.
momentum. It's like
Why?
she hits that target and it brings it like it works with the movement of the game.
yeah. Oh,
I
yeah,
always
get
think
you, yeah.
bosses should have weak spots. Why? Every
Yeah,
single boss should have the weak spot,
I
man.
kind of agree with that. Yeah.
Now, I know it's not immersive or realistic or whatever, but neither is the thing you're looking at right now. It's
Yeah.
cool to aim at stuff on like the shoulders and.
Yeah. This is one I was talking about, Jordan.
That looks good though, man.
Oh,
That
yeah,
game
so-
Is
looks
this an exclusive
nice.
then?
Yeah, so Purple Donkey was saying this is the one he was on about, Jordan, the game.
Yeah,
so
Jacob.
the,
I've just
the
seen
tiles. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you're getting.
You see what I mean?
like,
As soon as he
momentum,
hits
yeah.
them, the momentum takes him. So I
Yeah.
can guess if you keep the chain up, you can get that flow of movement.
No,
Yeah.
look at that.
But yeah, that's,
I just like the
that's a
simplicity,
nice
the
game,
simplicity
that.
of it.
Yeah, in it. I think
Yeah.
it's got potential. Definitely has potential.
Definitely.
Um,
So that's a PS5 exclusive.
all I've seen that is going to be released for PS5. It did have a PS5 like tag on it. It was on the Sony, like a Sony on the conference. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
But yeah,
Jacob says it is
the Pathless. So yeah, that.
another great.
Just
Saying anything.
a quick Mortal Shell's released very soon. If you guys don't know what Mortal Shell is, Nathan will just show you a quick. Basically, it's a. Jordan, did you play this?
Yes,
I didn't get the
so,
chance, and I'm so gutted.
it's a Dark Souls esque
Pretty
kind
much.
of game. It
I
pretty
thought it
much
was
like
hard.
if you'd have seen the menus and like anyone who's in the chat who's played the first Dark Souls, if you'd have seen the menus and the layout and the load screens and the tips, it's that's just what it was. You know what I mean? Like it literally looked like they just ripped all that from Dark Souls and just put it in their own way.
Yeah.
So it is basically that, but it does have its own mechanic in terms of, you know, Dark Souls, you are the undead, so the gist is that you come back, but this is, it says the Mortal Shell, and that's basically what it is. So what happens is if he was to die in that shell there, what would happen is he will come out of that shell, and he'll just be. It's almost like a slug or a snail. Like he's just naked. He'll come out and then he'll be naked.
Naked boy.
A naked
Might
boy.
show it here.
And then by the looks of it, it could take like. I didn't get that far into it, but by the looks of it, I think you can actually take
Yeah.
another shell.
You can level them up, can't you? Like
Yeah, you
different
can
level them up,
yeah.
differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What happens if that shell was to die? Can you find that shell again?
Yeah, so you can actually get back into that shell.
yeah.
It's just if the enemies let you get back into the shell.
What the only thing is, what I'm hoping that it isn't kind of just locked to like say like 5 like shells. So throughout the game, you only can get the same 6 shells. I hope you can go into various different ones, because I know when you take over one of the shells, it gives you like a little story based on whose shell you're taking, like whose body you're taking. And I hope they kind of run with that a bit more and not just have it so it's you got 5 shells and then 5 shells you level up to max. I'm not gonna lie, it probably still would be good, but I think there should be a bit more. If there's more of a branching off of different shells, it'd be nice.
Yeah, what I did find is with this is it did give you the whole, Dark Souls, you got your iframes. It's all about movement, dodge, get out of the way, get back in, dodge. But this, I think it give you that aspect of, I didn't know if you noticed it before when he was fighting all them guys. When they went to hit him, it hardened his shell. It's almost like if you prefer the timing, you can harden your shell, deflect everything off, and then go. But this video makes it look so easy. But actually, when you play the game, that timing is so different. Yeah. Because as soon as you press, I think it was L1, it didn't actually activate straight away. It had like a 3.5 second timer. Yeah. And as soon as you press L1, you start moving slower.
Mm-hmm.
How does the run feel? Because as what I can see now, look at that. Yeah,
look, he just knocked him out
of his shell. He must have already been knocked out as well.
It feels a lot quicker than Dark Souls.
It is.
Is that a good thing? Like, does it make it easier? Or
no,
do you see that menu right there? That menu is just Dark Souls, right? That will load screens.
Even like big guys, like move fast. Like they're not slow. This is a guy you fight. It's like a mini boss. I beat him eventually, but it did take most of my supplies to kill him. You have to utilize that harden because you can counter. There's good mechanics and it's going to be a sick game. But yeah, that is Mortal Shell, and it is going to be released August 18th, so next Tuesday. So yeah, if anyone gets that game, jump in and give us a shout.
Is it going to be multiplayer?
I don't think so.
No. Not even like Soulstone stuff.
Haven't they said?
I don't think they've said properly. I don't think there's been anything about the multiplayer really.
Soapstone, sorry, that they had in Dark Souls.
Oh, so the soap sign, like summon people in for help.
Yeah, that'd be cool because I needed that a hell of a lot in Dark Souls 2.
Is that Jordan? 2 seconds, guys.
Need Boris to extend lockdown now, Jacob says. Ended.
Sorry, I just had to reconnect because apparently I was getting echoing from both you two.
I'll turn you down a little bit.
I blame Nathan. Yes, man.
Am I alright?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit
like robotic.
Just while we're getting the sound sorted out, guys, I had a chance to play the Marvel Avengers beta.
Oh man, how is it?
I'm going to be very honest with you. I was pleasantly surprised. So
I think it looks sick.
Yeah, no. I think past experience, especially with the way they released it, with the release trailer when it first came out, everyone was like, "Whoa!" And then when you saw the faces and how the voices, actors weren't the same, it was kind of like. But I actually had a chance to play it, and I'm not gonna lie, I was enjoying it a lot. Like, got in.
Is it like very hacky slashy sort of thing where it's like, you just beat a guy up and it's just combos, and then like, is it just that, like, how many, is there a lot of combos that you can pull off?
Yeah, so when they showed you the combos in the when they showed you the combos in the combo release trailer, there, to be fair, they were quite some advanced combos when you get to actually get into the game and see the skill tree. So I mainly played as Hulk. I enjoyed Black
Of
Widow.
course.
I didn't really enjoy Iron Man. And Miss Marvel was
Could you play as Spider-Man?
a hit and miss. No, Spider Man wasn't in. You can only play as them four. You couldn't even play as Thor. You could play as Thor at the beginning of the prologue, which was actually sick, throwing his
Yeah.
hammer, and the way it
That
works.
feels
If
amazing,
you,
yeah.
yeah, it does. If you've ever played God of War, it feels like that. It felt so fluid. Like you threw it, and you could throw it at any destination, and depending on where your marker was, like your crosshair, when you called it back, it just like it fully just zoomed back. The war table like opened up the game and let you could basically use it, and it's like the central. It was almost a bit like as weird as it sounds, it was almost a bit like Destiny in the terms of and you get your gear, you've got power levels.
I like that.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. What was also very good, and I was pleasantly surprised, is most games now have a season pass, and you pay for that season pass, and it goes to 1 to 100 most of the time, and it's got a random amount of stuff in. And what they've done this time with this game is they've given every individual hero a challenge card.
All right.
So if you don't play a certain hero, you're not. It's not like you've bought a battle pass and you're wasting it to get stuff you're never going to use. So like, for instance, when I was the Hulk, I was like, oh yeah, and like it had it had all some of Hulk's better costumes in that battle pass, and there was daily and weekly challenges you could complete to unlock points towards that challenge card, to unlock better like emotes. What did they call them? Nameplates. So all that kind of stuff. So it was actually really good. So I think if you are interested, you should definitely.
Yeah, I was kind of gutted that I
month.
missed out on it, me,
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
no,
I was gonna be a cheeky boy and try buy the buy a key, but yeah.
No.
Anyway, yeah, I was kind of gutted. I wanted to smash some heads with Hulk, but yeah, I didn't manage.
To be honest, if anyone who's not pre-ordering it, you got a chance to smash heads at in a month. And then on top of that, for any Fortnite fans, there's some challenges in there for Fortnite as well.
That's sick. Just because he was on the difficulty of Mortal Shell.
Yeah.
Last of Us 2 are bringing out a new mode. They're bringing out the grounded mode, which was in the original, difficulty, but they're also bringing permadeath in as well.
Ooh.
So they're making it the permadeath is basically a toggle, and you can basically play any difficulty on with permadeath on, so you can go with easy and do permadeath. So I think that's a nice little thing they're gonna do to it.
Yeah.
But apparently people are saying good luck completing the game permadeath on grounded mode. So yeah, Last of Us 2 are getting a difficulty upgrade.
Let's face it, if I'd have done permadeath on my playthrough, I think I'd have died in the first 10 minutes. I would have been done. There you go, end of your story, John.
Right, so that was Mortal Shell. We've got Temtem, which is already a game which is out on Steam. It's got a 9 out of 10 on Steam.
Yo, Stephen.
No, I haven't played this. I was gonna buy it for the Switch, but I'm thinking maybe not.
Yeah.
I'm sure that, like, I'm really, really happy that the consoles are getting a Pokemon game, because Pokemon is never, ever, ever gonna come out for the PS5 or the Xbox.
No, never.
Apparently, this game's coming out for PS5.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's coming out for PS5, so it's definitely got potential if they're bringing it out for next gen.
And yeah, it's not Pokeballs, it's cards or whatever, but does it matter? I don't think it matters.
I don't know. Do you ever feel that sometimes this puts you off playing these kind of games? Though? In the sense of like, if you were to play one of these games, you'd rather just play a Pokemon game.
To be honest,
I'd
it's
give it a
probably got-
chance.
it's probably got a good online scene as well.
Yeah.
So,
Like I played
like, I'm
quite a
not
lot
saying
of Yokai
Pokemon's as
Watch.
bad, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think this is multiplayer. So like, I think
Yeah,
we
it
can
is
just do the
multiplayer.
whole
It is,
campaign.
they're saying it's a massive multiplayer creature creation game.
See, that's sick. It's an MMO.
So yeah, if it's that to me is
That's right
could
up our street.
possibly
Man.
yeah, I'd like that. But yeah, I played a lot of Yokai Watch and I quite liked Yokai Watch. That was
You know what? I've always wanted to play that game, like them sort of games.
It's fun,
and I
man.
just never came around to it.
like it really is. It is quite fun.
I can see myself playing it, but I don't know if some like for the wider audience. I don't know if that would put some
Nah,
people off.
yeah,
You know what
I
mean?
think
Like,
it would in that sense. Yeah,
in that sense of if I want to play this game, I'd rather just play my Pokemon game.
yeah.
Because let's face
though,
it,
You finish
Yeah.
Pokemon, yeah. This is gonna itch that scratch. This is gonna itch that scratch that you're gonna have eventually.
oh
with
yeah, I agree
Pokemon.
with that.
And I think that's
I
what
do
they're
agree
going
with that.
for.
But it's that whole thing of the one thing we always wanted was Pokemon on the big screen, and that's what you got now. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
hook up your Nintendo Switch, dock it. There you go. You got Pokemon on the big screen.
Yeah, man.
Just while we're on like this kind of genre, even though it's coming out for the PS5, Nintendo profits have increased by 400% in 1, 2, 3.
Mate,
four-
it's so
in
good
basically
news.
in a year's time, their profits have gone up by 400%.
Like, as a Nintendo fanboy, that makes me so happy.
God, because they're doing stuff right, man.
Yeah,
Like, I know
man, they're doing stuff right.
So Sony and Nintendo are just bosses. Sorry, Xbox lovers. I know McStruggle, you're probably gonna hate me saying that, but
Pretty sure.
No,
it's
I'll be
a-
honest, right?
Yeah, bro.
I'm a 360 collector. I think the 360 is a fantastic console. I think the
Yeah.
games
Oh,
that came out for that console are absolutely amazing.
hmm
But it kind of sloped off after that.
yeah,
There wasn't much
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
after that, really.
I definitely agree with that. I definitely think PS4 has just made moves. Nintendo have made moves all in the right direction, and I think that's going to then set them up very nicely for this next 10 years. I think Xbox. I think Xbox are having to try and make up. Do you know what I mean? They're
I
trying
mean,
to pull back.
they're releasing the Games Pass now for like Android and iOS. So like that is that just
Yeah.
shows you where Xbox are right now, and it's kind of sad, but I'm kind of still happy that I'll be able to still play the Xbox titles anywhere
Yeah.
on the go.
So you see this here is that creature following him.
Yeah,
the
I feel
wild.
like it's just like a complete rip off of Pokemon. Like there's literally no
definitely is.
difference.
Oh, but your creature follows you. To be fair, with a game like this, I bet you can get some naughty creatures. I bet some sick ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Temtem. Yeah, I think it's got potential. If it's MMO, it's definitely got potential. So this video may be inappropriate to some viewers. This is Outlaws and Legends. Hood Outlaws and Legends. Sorry, definitely just getting a video up. To me,
It's been
this
weird.
seems like it reminds me of Assassin's Creed Online, but
Do you know what it reminded me of with
Better.
the PvE?
yeah,
Is they brought that other one out recently called Hunted,
oh yeah,
where you're basically in a massive open, but it's like a battle royale, but your team. You know, there's bounties for creatures on the map as well as having other teams.
yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be quite a fun game. I think it's free player co-op online.
Hey, we can get on that.
So I'm not. Is this got any? Is this just the trailer, the teaser? This?
Yeah, shall I get some gameplay up?
Yeah, you can just see if it's on. See if there's any on in that video. Yeah, I think there was a bit further on into the trailer.
Yeah, right.
It seems like you have to work together to take down kingdoms and all sorts of stuff. But it seems quite a fast-paced game as well. It also has got kind of a feel of what's it's called now. You know, the For Honor.
Yeah,
Oh,
and to
For
be
Honor,
honest,
yeah.
I did like For Honor.
They were quite fun.
I did enjoy it. It was good.
It does give me quite some feels of few games, but if it's a free play co-op, man, I like my single player games, but playing the game with your mates is just another experience, isn't it?
Yeah, in itself, innit?
Yeah.
It's like recent Fall Guys success.
Yeah,
You know, the game actually jokes with people, but I can't play it on my own.
I want to play that with you. We should play that
Oh,
together.
you
I'd
should.
play that.
Oh, trust me. Play it with Steven. That's who you want to play it with.
Mhm.
Oh my god, he's jokes. He can't qualify.
You
Just can't get past the first round.
So we have next. Rocksteady have announced a new game. Well, they haven't announced a new game yet, but the developers have announced. Oh, they have announced that they're developing the new Suicide Squad game.
Yo, Josh.
There was a lot of people who didn't like the Suicide Squad film. I thought it was quite good. I liked it.
You know what? I didn't like Suicide Squad.
I think
And
Jared
the
Leto
reason-
actually played different take
Nah,
on Joker,
man.
which I liked. I know you probably. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it was a different take.
man.
It was a different take. I liked it. I'm not comparing him to like Heath Ledger's Joker or anything. I'm not comparing him to past Jokers.
Like, right, it annoyed me. I didn't like the gold teeth. I don't know. I just he's a gangster in a different way. He's not a showy off gangster. He's clever than that.
mentally ill. He's a mentally ill gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Did you
I
like
don't
the
know.
film, Jordan?
I thought it was okay. I'm a massive Will Smith fan.
Yeah, I know. You
So
are.
I'm a massive Will Smith fan. So I kind of watched the film more for him more than anything.
Yeah.
It was alright.
Who's
It was
part
it was weird though because I watched it with Shan, and she really enjoyed it. So then I was like,
Oh.
do you know what I mean? I was like, she's really
I
enjoyed
bet that
it.
hurt for you.
She's really enjoyed it. So,
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think it was entertaining. It might not have been like good for the actual like DC universe, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was an entertaining film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't the worst, let's face it. Some of the stuff that has come out. Yeah,
Now
it
let's
wasn't
just
the
talk
worst.
about Joaquin Phoenix. No, never mind. That's another level of Joker. Yeah. So next we got. This is one I really like. Right. So Alan Wake is a game which I played quite a lot of when it first came out. And now
You know what? I've got both of these on Steam. Yeah.
what the Nightmare, American Nightmare, and Alan Wake.
I've got both of these on Steam, and
That's,
I haven't even completed any of it. Like I haven't played them. I've put like 10 minutes in, and I don't know why.
I liked the original Alan Wake so much. I got the book bought for me. I think it was either my mum or my sister bought me the book.
Is this the right trailer?
Yeah, it is. It's just it's a very. It doesn't show.
It seems
that
very
much.
out there, man.
It is very out there. I don't know what to expect of it, to be honest, but you can tell it's this like the people who made Alan Wake, because it moves the same. It looks well. I'd say it looks the same, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to incorporate it. It's coming out this month. I'm probably not going to get it just because it's going to be like 40 quid. I'll wait till it goes down. But what I like about it is, I think I said it last week, is if they've got something good that did well, and they still have faith in that game, I don't know, 10 years on from when it was released.
Yeah. There's clearly something there.
There has to be some good storytelling, gameplay, or something for them to make another expansion so late into the series. But yeah, that's Control, Alan Wake Control. We have The Pedestrian, which I will just skim over this because it looks like a fun game.
It's only 1 minute, but yeah, I know.
I think it seems like a puzzle game. Would you say? It seems like
I'd say that. I love the perspective of just everything. It's just it works, and there is a couple of games that's done this before this game. I feel like this one has done it perfectly.
Yeah, it's got a 10 out of 10 on Steam. But yeah, the only reason is it's coming to PS4, which must be doing something right if they're bringing it to a next gen console.
Oh, this looks legit, you know.
Yeah, it looks pretty fun, doesn't it? It's just the perspective of it. It's just
I love the cars going off in the background and you're just playing away like it's. Look at the little PS4 controller.
Innit?
That's so cool, man.
So yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty cool. I'm probably you can actually pick it up on Steam already if you want to try it, anyone. But yeah, that's The Pedestrian.
Yeah, no, I like. It reminds me. Sorry, I just want to say just before we go to the next one.
Yeah, go for it.
It reminds me a lot of some of the puzzles in The Witness. I don't know if you guys have played it.
Oh, The Witness was good, man. I
like some of them, like the perspective puzzles where you've got to like stand in a certain area, and then and you can see it's. I can't really explain it. You'd have to play it yourself. But
I think I need to play that.
Yeah.
Witness was free on PlayStation Plus. So PlayStation Plus. Any PlayStation players that you should have The Witness if you have Plus. It was a good game.
It's a really, really hard puzzle game. Really, really hard.
But rewarding. Puzzles.
Yeah, it's just like that. Pedestrian. Do you want to move on to the next?
I'll just talk about Harvest Moon One World. They're bringing out a limited edition box. You get the Life on the Farm soundtrack.
Yeah, man. Hang on, I've got a video for that.
Have you got? Go on.
Just got some like a little bit of gameplay. Basically, like any other Harvest Moon game, but I don't know.
It looks
nice. Always seems like
I've never played a Harvest Moon game.
The old ones I played, but I just feel like it's just one of them itches that like if you've done with Stardew Valley or any other sim game that's out, the millions of other sim games that are out there. This one's been around for a while, and there's a reason it's been around a while. It's because they do it right, They do this. They do it perfectly. You should definitely go check these sort of games out if you haven't played them. They're awesome.
Yeah, I'd try a Harvest Moon game. Oh, what's that?
That is Trails in the Sky, which I wasn't going to cover, but do you want to cover it? It's really cool.
It looks like a Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, it's like a JRPG sort. I think it came out for the PS2.
I love my strategy games like that. Did any of you man ever play Enchanted Arms?
No, I need to play it.
No.
Did it come out for the 360?
Pass me Enchanted Arms on there. Next to Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, that one. Just a game that I think everyone should have a try and have a play of. Enchanted Arms.
Oh yeah, mate. But how much is that in CEX? I bet
You'll
that's
get
well
it for
cheap.
a quid, I bet.
Oh mate, worth it. How many hours have you plowed into that?
I think when I completed it, I did everything I could. I think I spent about 90 hours, maybe.
Oof.
Mate, that's a long
it's
time.
a beefy game. Like story wise, it's really good.
Would you say you fully completed it at 90 hours, or was that just breezing through it?
That's everything, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just story, you're probably looking at maybe 40.
Still, man, you don't sniff up at 40 hours of story
man.
gameplay these days.
For a pound.
I know.
Or whatever they're selling them off for now.
But yeah, that's very. It's like a grid. The battle style's like a grid, like that. But yeah, that's drifting off a little bit. But yeah, Enchanted Arms. Do you want to go on to Godfall?
Yeah, of course.
I think we do. I think there's people in the chat that want to talk about Godfall.
Godfall. It was announced quite a while ago, wasn't it? I remember them talking about it maybe last year, E3 last year. I think it was mentioned. But now they've got actual gameplay now.
Oh, juicy.
The
I'll skip it on a
game
little bit.
looks like it's going to be very combat heavy.
This looks really good. Look how beautiful, like, look at all the floor and the way it reflects.
Yeah.
It
The
does
game
look clunky.
looks
That's
really-
the first thing I thought.
What was
It
that,
looked a bit
clunker?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe maybe the animation is a little slow, but maybe you're just used to more Dark Souls-esque, you know.
Yeah, like gameplay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do get what you're saying. Like, it doesn't. Yeah, the swings don't like flow as nice as the
Maybe
Do you know
game.
what it
it's
reminds?
yeah.
It reminds me of Gears of War. Gears of War's always been clunky.
Yeah, you're right. Gears of
Do you know what I
War
mean?
has always been
Yeah.
clunky. You're right. It should never have been a third person, man. And a lot of people will probably hate me for saying that, but
What, Gears?
yeah,
I
it could have been a
loved-
way
I
better
really
cinematic
loved-
experience if it had been
I played
first
Gears
person.
2 so much. Oh,
Yeah, of course. I loved Gears 2, me.
mate, that shotgun.
Where's
beatdown,
Kyle, man? Is Kyle not here tonight?
Mate,
Kyle,
this game.
Kyle
also-
semi-pro, wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
he? Yeah, my cousin. He went to
Oh,
like
mate,
tournaments
that's
and shit
sick.
at Gears.
That's really, really good, man.
But
It looks-
I think it's going to be quite a fun game. It reminds me of Darksiders as well.
Yeah,
Like,
that
the
Devil May
combat.
Cry, we're gonna say, yeah.
Devil May
The only
Cry,
thing,
yeah.
the only thing you don't want in this game though now is like it's got all this, but you
Boy.
don't want this like basic combo. Do you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
just
yeah,
have
yeah.
a
Said this
combo
earlier,
every
yeah.
time. You don't want to just have that basic combo.
You want to be able to
system.
have like abilities that you can learn that add to that combo to make that combo
Yeah, yeah.
longer, and the
I'm
different
guessing it's
variations
more,
as well.
you're gonna get the variations with the different weapons, aren't you? It's gonna be like, if you choose to,
Yeah,
be
because there's
dual
five
dagger
different
guy.
there's five different weapons, isn't there?
yeah.
You've got
Can you switch them on the fly then? Is that like a thing you can just,
I don't
or
I
do you
don't-
like go down a route?
they don't really show that you can. They just show one whole
Hmm.
section of that weapon and then change. They're calling it a looter slasher, so I
We'll be
assume
on it.
that there's gonna be a lot of loot to get, which
You can
I
see, look
always
at all the
love
coins.
yeah, and apparently, no, they've actually said it's going to be online co-op of up to 3 players.
See,
Oh,
I
And
hate the free players thing though. Me personally.
I know what you're saying,
Oh,
Jordan.
there should
right?
be a
Right.
fourth.
Yeah,
Destiny did
man.
it wrong also. If they'd have added an extra guy, that
What,
would
of
have been
Destiny
perfect.
3 as well?
That-
Destiny's free, yeah. Like
What?
you have 6-man raids, but you have 3-man.
Yeah, man.
teams.
Oh, that's weird. That.
It's weird. It's all like
feel
odd
like-
numbers. It's
Yeah, I
weird.
feel like free is just so bad. 'Cause
Yeah,
You've always
if
got
you have, even if you have free, you can have two mates, and you jump in and you have them one random if you were doing anything,
Yeah.
and then you've got one random. As if you have maybe four, there's more of a chance you're going to get two and two. And at least there's like two sides of cooperation.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Just two people, and then one person on their own. I hate the free. I hate the free number. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's odd because it's only
It's perfect
recently
for us,
just
though.
come into like it's only in recent years is that free play.
Yeah,
'Cause it
you're
always
right.
used to be like either 2 or 4, didn't it? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
was Destiny free? Destiny 1 free play core.
Yeah.
It was free
Yeah.
play as well. But yeah, I understand the whole balancing and the server thing, but Monster Hunter does it perfectly fine. Do you know what I mean? Monster
Yeah.
Hunter's huge. You get
Mm.
four man. It's so seamless in that people can just drop in halfway through a hunt as well. You can
Yeah.
just drop in, then you got your fourth person, and people can just drop out.
Yeah,
I never really understood the free.
yeah, I think that'll. It's been published by Gearbox as well, who make Borderlands. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
They obviously think.
I think it's going to be quite a
it's way
good
better.
combat system. I don't think they can't have such a robust combat system and not have more combos and have abilities.
The thing is,
if it is, it
if
just
it's like a
goes
looty
stale.
game, if it's a looty game, right, it's gonna have to feel fun to play. Because
Yeah.
like you say, when we play Dungeon Defenders, man, it's fun to play, and that's why you
Yeah.
keep playing and keep,
Mhm.
it keeps you going.
Yeah.
And if Jordan is right, and it is a lot clunkier than what we're looking at now, like that's gonna completely ruin the game. Because it's
Yeah.
slow. You're right. It is slow.
It's
Even
just
when you're like,
it's that there when you're getting up off the floor and then he starts like. Don't get me wrong, when he's dodging, it looks quite fluid.
oh,
But
that's
like
nice.
when he's moving, it does look very clunky.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Looks beautiful though.
Do you want to move on? Because it's 10
Yes, of
o'clock
course.
now, and we'll just get to the quick break.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
In games like this, though, I'm always fascinated in like enemies and
Yeah.
creatures and bosses. That does fascinate me, like what they're gonna throw at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You've got there's been a fan-made Bionicle game, Nathan, that you've mentioned.
Yeah, it just I mean, if it's all right. Like it's just the extras if we needed it. We can take a break and then move on to the retro stuff because we've got that to cover.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So that is the news for this week. Well, quickly mention it, Nathan, if you want, because I know the purple. Oh, just the.
There
Oh,
was
yeah,
a
it's
video.
another one.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
So like
That's
it's just like an open world Bionicle game, man. And yeah, it's probably not going to be that great, but it looks beautiful and it's open world. You can
And it's
you
fun
can get
made.
different masks, and each mask does like a different ability. But yeah, this is like a fan-made game. Been in like development for like 6 years now, and you can kind of tell with like the UI. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
UI
yeah.
looks
Quite simple.
similar to what me and you would create, I reckon. So.
Yeah. Good on them though for
But yeah.
trying, you know.
Yeah, it's a fun game, so like I'm definitely gonna give it some love when it comes. But yeah.
Nice. All right, so we'll go for a quick 5-minute break, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna do a Generation 3 review. Sorry, I know you guys can see all that. A Generation 3 review. So we are gonna just give you guys some knowledge about the Sega Master System, the NES, and the Atari 7800. That's Generation 3. So yeah, we're just going to give you a bit of information about the history of the retro era, and yeah, just fill your brains a little bit before you go to bed so it stays. But yeah, we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome. Welcome.
Want me to kick it
So-
off?
Yeah, go on, Nathan, kick it off. Give me 2
So
seconds.
I'll start off with the NES. Little bit of history about it. I'm just going to nitpick from the information I've got here, and then just we'll stop now and again, and we'll just see everyone's take on what was going on at that time. So the reason why the NES was launched in the first place is because of the huge success of the Famicom in Japan, which was
Yeah.
launched 1983. Massive. It just blew up from the arcades, like the consoles that are going to be
Mhm.
till tonight. The reason why there was a slight blow up was you could finally play them arcade games in your house, like you said earlier, Jordan. There was that incentive there to go. You could just, I can just go home and play these games. I don't have to constantly fill an arcade machine up with whatever 20p's, or I don't know what they used in America. What did they have, like cents?
Cents, yeah, they would use cents.
25 cent.
Yeah. So it'd have been a quarter. Yeah, it'd have been a quarter,
Yeah.
wouldn't it? Quarters.
Quarter of a dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
when they launched it, there was 100 years old Nintendo when they launched the Famicom.
Mm-hmm.
So like these guys are old, man, really really old. They started making cards back in day. All
Cards,
that.
one
We all know that, yeah.
Mm.
So there's another reason why the NES did fantastically
So well.
So we had a video game crash. Well, I don't think we wasn't hit very much because
It was
the
mainly-
UK was more, the BBC computer, microcomputer stuff, and we did have arcades and things like that. But because of ET and the Atari,
That's pretty much what I've got here. Yeah.
it completely just destroyed everything. And Nintendo came back with Mario and the NES to the West, which basically is the Famicom. It's just like an upgraded version, I guess, from the Japan version. It's just a way to get it to the West.
Can I
Yeah, of
just
course, man.
add to the crash, Nathan, while you're on that
Yeah.
point? Just for people in chat, the crash was basically the Atari produced so many shit games that there was too many for retail shops to sell, so they basically had to send their stock back to the producers and the publishers who couldn't get rid of these shit games, i.e. E.T.
Mate, there's a bundle of them, right? For the Commodore 64, it's called something like 12 shit games or something. Like, obviously, with it crossed out, so but it's shit. Like, these guys they knew, these developers knew they were, like, publishing this bullshit.
Yeah, so basically, these productions companies had to sell these shit games for a loss, so they'd make the games and they'd have to resell them for a loss, and within space of 2 years, production companies in the games industry lost out on 97% of their production value. So basically, the games industry went into recession. Then the NES. Nathan, carry on.
Mario came. No, Nintendo brought it back, and obviously I don't know there'll have been a lot of people behind the scenes making sure that the relationship between the West and Japan and other areas, they were making that connection, because that was a big problem at that time, especially in the late 80s, mid 80s. You always had that problem because phone, like, everything was slow. It's not like today where you can ring up your friends and talk about with video chat, and
You had
it was
to
a
ring
very
them
different
up
time
on the house phone.
Yeah, there was always a translation issue, but yeah, they managed to do it. They brought it. I mean, it was, like I say, it was more famous in America. It did come here under two companies, the Mattel version and the NES version, and that
Mhm.
was there was a problem there between just distributing, I think, and so Nintendo brought theirs out, and then Mattel bought rights and brought theirs out, but it was the same machine. It just had a different little
And
sticker on or
didn't
whatever.
didn't Mattel make the Power Glove as well?
Yeah, they had like a lot of. They did a lot of shitty
Add-ons,
stuff.
they did a lot of shitty add-ons for fucking
Like
NES,
the
didn't they?
control pad and stuff. Like the first ever like motion censored. Oh man,
Yeah,
they're
yeah, but yeah, the
so
Power
bad.
Glove
They're
and
so bad.
the Virtual Boy.
They just don't work. They just
The
don't
Virtual
work.
Boy.
I've heard people like can't even last an hour on that Virtual Boy.
Apparently,
Like,
it just
it
tints
makes
the
you
screen
sick.
or something.
It
Oh
makes you,
man,
I've heard people get serious motion sickness from it. Like,
To be
traumatized.
To be fair, I get I got the VR, PSVR, and that gives me motion sickness. Mate, when I first got that, I couldn't even wear it for
Yeah.
longer than 15 minutes. Killed me off.
it's really like it's awful, isn't it? That feeling of just ugh.
Mhm.
So yeah, like they came back. Obviously, Nintendo. I'm a big Nintendo fanboy. My first console that was bought for me was the Nintendo 64. So I wasn't really a PlayStation guy. My brother was. I was the weirdo with the weird control.
the guy who was fascinated in Japan.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah, that weird kid. The last thing I want to say is obviously a massive success and all that, but a lot of companies would because there was Nintendo at the time was really strict, and that's why they did so well when they brought it to the West. There was a reason why Nintendo had the seal of greatness or whatever it was called, the golden badge, and that stated that this game has been made by professionals, and therefore it just got rid of all the bullshit from the market, all the ET and whatever it was, all that crap, just all that crap, just
all that
rubbish.
crap.
But
Yeah.
what companies did was, because Nintendo was so strict with that, they actually subsidized their companies and like traded under a different names because only I think like people like Konami, they could only create so many games a year. Nintendo would only
Yeah,
let them create.
Yeah.
So they'd
Yeah.
have to go into different avenues and like try and sell games on different, different carts, and it's really weird when you go down there, and look at it as it was, because Nintendo did have hold of the whole industry at the time, so I can understand why. I mean, even still, they're really strict on the stuff. Apparently, you can't.
Oh
Even,
yeah, still are.
You can't even stream their games anymore without them taking full ad revenue. Like it's ridiculous.
I don't blame them, man. Like,
yeah, they've got a massive thing.
Like they've made 400% profit in like a year. Like,
yeah,
they've gone from
They've
like
sold-
27.5 billion yen or something to I don't
Yeah.
even know.
It's crazy, mate. It's crazy. The NES sold. I'll just finish on this. The NES sold like way over 30 million machines.
Massive for the time.
Mate, we're talking mid 80s.
Yeah.
Like what? That's
Mhm.
crazy money back then. Crazy money. So yeah, that's the NES and the ups. There's not many very downs in Nintendo, is there? I mean, they can be
The
different, I
Wii,
guess, but
the Wii
they
U.
always profit.
Yeah,
I like the Wii U, man. It's the only time you can play it, the Super Mario 3D World without it being shit for the DS.
To be fair, yours comes straight into Sega Master System. To be fair, because
yeah,
at the time, NES is the reason that it didn't do very well, and it had the whole bar of like publishers like Konami who were having, like you said, they could only release like 2 games in within a certain time period, which completely, obviously, obliterated the console. But they did say that the Sega Master System was, I think what they were saying was it was the successor to the SG-1000 console, and it was Sega's first successful home console on the market, but it was also the company's first big failure in terms of doing that kind of home console. And then the good thing about the company is they've kind of said that the Sega Master System didn't do as well as they wanted it to, but they actually didn't make the same mistake again. Do you know what I mean? They actually learned from what had happened.
I mean,
and
I've always
push
said
forward.
I've always said that if Sega had stayed in the arcade business, they would be absolute giants. If they'd have
Oh,
stayed
yeah.
away from consoles, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Mega Drive and some of the previous console did quite well for them, but when you come to the Dreamcast and the one the Saturn, and they're just that's what wasted so much of
Yeah,
Sega's
yeah,
money.
Yeah. Oh, did you just? Well, yeah. All right. It wasted the money, but Dreamcast was such a good console.
No,
loved
I
the
know what you
Yeah,
mean, but
Dreamcast
it
was
wasn't
good,
good for
yeah.
the. It wasn't good
It
for
wasn't
the
good for
company.
it.
Like
No,
it
it
didn't make
It
money.
was their
Like,
it was their last console, wasn't it? Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's what they were saying with here. You know, this could have potentially been the last console
Yeah.
if they hadn't have reworked it and then obviously re-released. But the console hit the market, and it came out in Japan. Then it came out a year later in North America, so that was 1986, and then in Europe a year later after that. And then it actually hit Brazil, and it actually did quite well in the Brazil market
Sick.
as a console. So it did actually quite well, and there's actually, in terms of exclusives and games, it actually released 22 games in Brazil, which didn't actually get released anywhere else.
so are these companies that have like met together in Brazil, or is this like homebrew?
So there is
People in the
these are
bedrooms.
actually companies that have
Is
met
it?
and just gone. Actually, we're gonna make this
We'll
like
only sell this here.
yeah, like one of them was a Little Mermaid game, off the back of the Little Mermaid release, and they've met and they've just gone. Actually, we're only going to bring this out in Brazil. So the Little Mermaid game only released in Brazil. So it was kind of like a whole thing of they kind of had quite a big market.
Yeah.
Did they have Disney?
Hmm.
Did they have Disney like on their side of that, or was it just like we're only selling it here, so it don't matter?
To be fair,
Old Pokemon Green, getting it from Cyprus.
yeah. So yeah, no, it looks like. To be fair, there was a wide range of games. There's like FIFA International Soccer, which only came
That
out
was
in
quite a
Brazil.
big game, though.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, only in Brazil.
Yeah, so this one only came out in Brazil in 1995.
I actually remember playing the Sega Master System. My sister had one, and it was the console with like the red check, like the red checkered like pattern over the top of it, wasn't it?
But then it got a re-release as was it Genesis?
Mega Drive.
Genesis.
Yeah.
Or was it
Mega
the
Drive
Master?
over, Genesis.
Did they bring
So
out
they
a
made the
Master
Mark
System
III.
too? Mark III.
Mark III, yeah. and
It's
then
very
it was,
confusing because you
later
like
developed into
So many
Genesis.
you've got three different
revisions.
names. You got
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah, they're all named different in Japan. So, yeah, it did all right, but in the same sense, it didn't do all right. So it was a shame. But when they compare, like Nathan was saying, when they compared it to the NES, it just could not keep up.
Yeah.
No way whatsoever. So the actual final license release for the Master System in Japan game was Bomber Raid. That was in 1989.
Good game though. I actually loved that game.
You know what? I've probably played it, but I can't remember it
Pardon
right
me.
now, and I might go and play it straight after this.
What
It
Bomber
sounds
Raid?
fucking amazing.
Bomber
What
Raid.
did you call it? Bomber Rush.
Raid.
The Bomber Raid.
Yeah.
Bomber Raid.
Play it, man. It's fun.
That sounds. Is it a rip off of like Bomber Man?
No. I think if I remember correctly, it's a game where you are a plane and you've got other planes coming towards you, and you have to shoot them down, and you have to dodge their bullets. I don't know I don't know what them games are called.
Bullet Hells.
It's pretty much one of them, but like an early. I think it's an earlier version, if I'm getting the game correct. But yeah, I will. So we've had the NES from Nathan and the Master System from Jordan. I'm going to tell you about the worst of the three.
Yes.
Yes. The Atari. Right. So was it the Atari 2800, which was the decent Atari? Was
26. The
2600.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the one with the analog, like the analog stick and
Well,
one button.
it's got two sides to the 2600 because it destroyed the market, but it also had a big impact.
It had a big impact
at the beginning of its at the beginning of its lifespan, it released a lot of good titles. especially for the time.
Yeah. So the 7800 was released in 1986, so quite a few years after. Basically, this was introduced at quite I would say, a bad time for gaming, just because it had obviously the competitors, the NES and the Master System, which was Atari had a big name, but once Nintendo stepped in, it was just a different ball game. They were playing a dangerous game. They had a lot of what I was saying when Nathan was talking about the NES, the crash. It basically caused the crash of the game industry, because there were so many third party games, people releasing games that are half finished, not even playable, and just ruining the games industry. It wasn't. I don't remember the 7800 too much because
I don't.
it was such an underrated game. Underrated. It was overrated
Yeah,
for
I
the
know,
time,
yeah.
and it was just it was shit compared
Like
to
the controllers didn't even work, man. Like
they tried bringing. They brought out two different controllers. They brought out a controller where it had a screwable analog stick,
yeah,
and you could take that, either screw it into the D-pad or take it out, depending. And they were called the Pro Line controller. They were trying all sorts.
Pro Line.
The Pro Line
Yes.
controller, and they instead of the one button, they had two buttons. Just trying to incorporate. There wasn't many games that even worked with two buttons. They were just a lot of the games for the 7800.
Just
They were just like duplicating the buttons, so it'd be the fire button for both.
It's like the first console I did was the I played was the 2600, the Woody, and
yeah,
I think
yeah,
it was my uncle's, and it was just one button. Like
yeah,
that
man,
was it.
simple.
It was just one button,
And it did the job. I think they just tried overcomplicating it. They tried making a cartridge that would save high scores of 65 games, and only 9 of the games were programmed for the feature. And then the fucking production of the cartridge got fucking cancelled after like 6 months.
Oh man.
God.
So and the thing is, back then, high scores were just built in anyway, weren't they? Like
Yeah,
with
that
your
was like the only
Frogger and
feature
stuff.
games
It
had
was-
around then.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Pac-Man, it was all high score based. So that again, there's no need. You don't need to do that. But yeah, they put the price of it up at $140, which I don't even want to know how much that is today. Probably like 400 or 500 quid.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
nasty
gonna be
for
around that.
console.
Probably even
Um,
more. Probably touching $1,000.
Yeah.
Don't. That is just
And it actually had a really crappy library. I think they had like 36 games or something like that.
Yeah,
And they were
man.
just like updated versions of Miss Pac-Man, Food Fight. Ball Blazer was actually apparently one of the best games for the console. I don't know what. I didn't have a look at this game, but
Bollocks
apparent-
Blazer.
I'm not. Well, pretty much, yeah. But yeah, this is one of the only machines that you could have got at the time in Toys R Us and Argos in the UK, and that was for quite a long time. Quite a long time at the £80 mark. So that must have been a while after the actual release of it. But yeah, the 7800. I at the time, if I was alive, probably wouldn't have got this if the NES came out the year after. Yeah, 95, 96 did the NES come out. 86.
People in the UK probably didn't have a choice at that time. Like the Atari would have been dirt cheap because it was dog shit, and
Mhm.
therefore the NES would have been that top, 304 quid console that only a few families would probably be able to afford back then.
top shelf.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely top shelf.
Yeah. So, yeah, in my opinion, overall, these would have been the NES. Would have been always NES.
You are.
Oh,
I'd always be the NES.
I mean,
Struggle says the
obviously,
NES
yeah,
was
the-
far better.
yeah.
Obviously, Mega Drive. Purple Donkey said. That will be
Games.
the next. That'll be in 4
That'll
weeks'
be the
time,
next
mate.
game.
The Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo, and
The best one.
I think it would have been the
Listen, guys, picking.
anyway. It'll be.
Picking who was going to talk about these consoles this time was easy, but I think there's going to be some fights.
Oh, trust
I'll flip a coin, mate.
You see what I mean? Everyone knows what they want to talk about.
Flip
back
2
in the
coins.
day. So yeah, so it's going to be good. Oh my
and
god,
Fika.
listen.
On that day, the exact day,
I mean, I meant to say-
that will come.
I'll-
Don't you worry.
I'll be streaming Fall Guys. I'll be streaming Fall Guys tomorrow.
I might jump in.
Nathan, look
I
at
might-
Nathan,
I'm-
he's like, "Mm,
I
mm,
might jump in and watch.
Yeah, I've got 3 crowns now, guys.
Oh, nice.
I'm rolling with 3 crowns. That's what
Nice.
it means.
Right. Anyway, guys. So we'll wrap this up tonight. We have been We Are Error. We have shown you some of the history of gaming, and again, thank you everyone for coming in. We appreciate
Yeah,
the love
thanks, guys.
and support. Catch us next week, Tuesday at 9 p.m.
Yeah, check us
Peace.
on Instagram. Come and have a look what's going on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
check it out. Instagram. We'll be posting all. We're gonna do a poll as well because we're gonna be doing the tier list in a couple of weeks. So we're gonna be doing a poll. See what we could potentially do a tier list of.
And honestly, if you guys want to see it, obviously we've got the content we're going forward with. We've got the content we're going forward, but honestly, if you guys have any suggestions of things you want to see, then let us know.
And
so
no,
we
you
can-
can't
we can
see
talk
my
about
bum.
it.
Can't see my bum.
But
Before anyone
Nathan,
asks.
but
Nathan, he
Nathan,
just got you. The giveaway. Yo,
Oh,
mate,
my-
this guy's
this
got
guy's-
the giveaway every week.
You give us the cash, man, and we will.
Oh my god, no.
Anyway.
No giveaway. But we are planning the next one.
yeah, Fika, thanks for coming. We appreciate your support, lad. Anyway, guys, till next week. Peace out.
Yes.
See
Peace
you
out.
later.
guys.
Peace.